Hello, epic viewers from around the multiverse. Prepare to indulge in experiencing sheer bliss, because today another Rhythmic Captaining Stellar review video is about to be brought to fruition. What items will I be reviewing? Without further delay, without further procrastination, allow me to address that answer to that inquiry right here, right now. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Marvel Legends Space Venom Wave. Is this action figure wave a paradigm of resound perfection? Is this wave the epitome of resound perfection? Is this wave the embodiment of resound perfection? Let's find out. Let's meticulously analyze these figurines down to the nitty-gritty details to determine whether or not they warrant a staggering, hefty, exorbitant, outrageous asking price. As the totality, as an aggregate, this lot commands an unbearable price of over $120. The lot consists of 7 figurines. They're priced at over $17 per figurine when you factor in the Space Venom Build-A-Figure. These figurines are $20 plus tax. When you divvy up $120 amongst 7 figurines, you get slightly over $17 per figurine. Of course, after factoring in the tax, that $17 price tag is significantly amplified. So, expect to pay well over $130 to procure these figurines. So now that we established that these figurines are outrageously, exorbitantly priced, we have to objectively analyze them and determine whether or not they warrant a price tag of over $130 as a lot, or as a totality. Bear in mind that Toy Biz released their own iterations of these characters. Toy Biz's iterations of these characters were $8 plus tax. So you're paying 250% more than the retail price of the Toy Biz Marvel Legends versions of these characters. Do the Hasbro Marvel Legends iterations of these characters offer 250% more intrinsic value? That's what you have to ask yourself. That's the salient question, and that is the crux of the matter. So let's delve into it. The lot is comprised of Ultimate Spider-Man, as well as Miles Spider-Man, in conjunction with Modern Electro, Classic Hobgoblin, Ashley Barton and Spider-Woman, Silk, and of course the Space Venom Build-A-Figure. So we have 7 figurines, all exorbitantly priced, and what are my gripes appertaining to these figurines? Well, for starters, their shadings, their hues, their deco, their accessories, their sculpts, their overall quality is just not up to par with their Toy Biz Marvel Legends counterparts. It's disappointing. These figurines lack finger joint articulation. Their accessories can be deemed shoddy. They're not up to par with the stellar, stupendous, phenomenal Toy Biz Marvel Legends accessories. These figurines also lack toe articulation, unlike the Toy Biz Marvel Legends figurines. These figurines don't have paint washes nor shadings up to par with their Toy Biz Marvel Legends counterparts. It's nice that the Electro and Hobgoblin look akin to the Toy Biz iterations of Hobgoblin and Electro, but these figurines are unequivocally inferior. Unlike the Toy Biz iterations of the Spider-Man characters, these figurines have less points of articulation, and of course they lack the coveted finger joint articulation feature. Unfortunately, they also lack toe articulation, and I'm sure that they don't have as much latitude for articulation in other joints, so it's just unfortunate, but it is what it is. You're paying 250% more, and you're getting figurines that are unequivocally inferior to their Toy Biz Marvel Legends counterparts, or even if they are nearly homogeneous, best case scenario, they still cost 250% more, so it just doesn't make any sense why you would concede to this retail price when you could have bought them in the retail stores for $8 plus tax and procured superior versions of your favorite Spider-Man characters. We have the Silk character with an interchangeable head. She apparently also has an unmasked head. That's a nifty feature, but it's not enough to entice me to pay 250% more. The body just looks bland, and it just seems to be lackluster. Would I say that the slot is characterized by vapidness? I mean, it does have some merit. I'd rate it to be a 2 out of 10. We have a new figurine that was introduced within the wave. The advent of the Space Venom Build-A-Figure has come to pass if you're watching this video in 2017. However, if you're watching this video in 2016, then by the time you're watching this video, the figurine would likely have already been released. So it's nice that we have the opportunity to procure a Space Venom figurine, but again, it just looks shoddy and cheap or mediocre. I just don't like settling for insipid mediocrity. It looks cheap in the context of a Build-A-Figure. When you compare him to Galactus or the Sentinel or MODOK or Mojo or even Annihilus, is just not on par with those aforementioned figures. I detest the fact that there's apertures between his fingers. I don't like the gaping apertures between my action figures' fingers, but it is what it is. I also detest how they all don't come with interchangeable hands. I don't like their cosmetics. I think that they could use more details, more shadings, more paint washes, and I think that certain features could be better accentuated, but that's just my humble opinion. I think that if the Four Horsemen Studios sculpted this line, that it would have been mind-boggling, and it would have been unprecedented in terms of the value it provides the consumer. But since Toy Biz is now defunct, and since Hasbro's been self-commissioned to recontinue the line of their own accord, they have unequivocally disappointed us. They're scrimping in terms of articulation, they're scrimping in terms of aesthetics, they're scrimping in terms of sculpts, they're reusing sculpts, they're reusing molds. These Spider-Mans are just not up to par with the Spider-Mans of the past that Toy Biz produced. This Hobgoblin and Electro figurine just don't compare to the Toy Biz Hobgoblin and Electro figurines, especially considering that they cost at least 250% more than what the Toy Biz Spider-Man figurines retailed for. This Space Venom character is not very appealing. He's not eminently appealing. He doesn't really appease me. He just seems a bit bland. I just don't like the fact that these characters are lackluster in terms of their designs. I just don't really feel as though their wardrobes are as epic as it could be. It has nothing to do with the content creators who envisioned and who conceive these characters. It has to do with the fact that there's a lack of paint washes, there's a lack of shadings, there is a lack of certain details that could have been implemented, and more features could have been accentuated. The basic designs are not abysmal per se, but for $20 they are. They're for $10 figurines, I would deem these figurines to be mediocre. So that's what I meant when I said that these figurines are not abysmal. For $10 figurines, they're mediocre, but for $20 figurines, they're just completely shoddy, egregious, and abhorrent. But if you can get them for $10, then they have some merit as mediocre figurines, but for $20, they're not meritorious. I just would have preferred if their features could have been better accentuated, more shadings, more paint washes, more details on the face. I would have preferred if these figurines were a bit bulkier. I would have preferred if they had some more physical prowess. I would have preferred if their biceps were large, and I would have preferred if their biceps were larger. It's never a bad idea to enlarge in them. These figurines could have been spruced up a bit in terms of details. I mean, some of them are more detailed than others, but you can't always assess them as meticulously as you want to until you see them in person. So based on their 2D image that captures them in 2D, they're just not able to meet my expectations. So I guess that's everything that I wanted to divulge and apprise you of. So as an aggregate, as a totality, I'd rate this lot to be a 2 out of 10 at best, just because it includes Space Venom. Of course, Hobgoblin and Electro are nearly homogeneous to the Toy Biz Hobgoblin and Electro, but even with that in mind, they're just not worthwhile, considering that they retail for at least 250% more than the Toy Biz Marvel Legend iteration. Let me revamp that. Sorry, I made a blunder. I'm integrating too many words into a sentence. I need to slow down and form cohesive sentences. So let me just try this one final time. The Hobgoblin and Electro figurines are nearly homogeneous to the Toy Biz Hobgoblin and Electro figurines. Irrespective of that, they're still not meritorious because they retail for significantly more money than the Hobgoblin, than the Toy Biz. Let me revamp that one final time. I keep making blunder. I'm going to do this until I get it right. Sorry about that. I need to be quick. I'm pressed for time, unfortunately. I just want to spew out the exact message without any blunders. So the Hobgoblin and Electro figurines are nearly homogeneous to the Toy Biz Hobgoblin and Electro figurines, irrespective of their similarities. They're not worthwhile. They're not meritorious. They don't warrant their asking prices because they retail for at least 250% more than the retail price of those aforementioned Toy Biz iterations of those characters. So sorry if that sounded confusing. Sorry if that induced frustration and discombobulation. But you get my drift. The prices are outrageous. Plus, they don't have the coveted feature of finger joint articulation, and their shadings are just not as accentuated when compared to the shadings of the Toy Biz Marvel Legends characters. I would have preferred if they had more details, and I would have preferred if they had more flair and robustness to their designs. The lack of robustness and skimping on certain details is just agonizing, in my opinion, from the perspective of an avid, devout Marvel fan. But the redeeming factor of the lot is being able to get the Space Venom figurine, which has never been released as part of the Marvel Legends line. The Spider-Man figurines also lack articulation on par with their past counterparts, so they could improve in terms of detail, shadings, paint washes, sculpts, aesthetics, hues, and accessories. So that's everything I want to do. Notify you of. Also recollect that the Toy Biz Marvel Legends came bundled with comic books. It's unfortunate that that hasn't been reintroduced into the line, but it is what it is. Thanks for watching. I hope that you deem this video to be enthralling and insightful. Have a wonderful, marvelous day. Goodbye.